ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਰਾਮ ਸਿਮਰ ਰਾਮ ਸਿਮਰ ਰਾਮ ਸਿਮਰ ਭਾਈ। ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਬਿਨ ਬੂਢਤੇ ਅਧਕਾਈ ਰਹਾ। ਬਨਤਾ ਸੁਤ ਦੇਹ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਸੰਪਤ ਸੁਖਦਾਈ। ਇਨ ਮੈਂ ਕਛ ਨਾਹੀਂ ਤੇਰੋ ਕਾਲ ਅਵਦ ਆਈ। ਅਜਾਮਲ ਗਜ ਗਨਕਾ ਪਤਿਤ ਕਰਮ ਕੀਨੇ। ਤੇਉ ਉੱਤਰ ਪਾਰ ਪਰੇ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਲੀਨੇ। ਸੁਕਰ ਕੂਕਰ ਜੋਨ ਭ੍ਰਮੇ ਤਉ ਲਾਜ ਨ ਆਈ। ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਛਾੜ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਕਾਹੇ ਬਿਖ ਖਾਈ। ਤਜ ਭਰਮ ਕਰਮ ਬਿਦ ਨਿਖੇਦ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਲੇਹੀ। ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਨ ਕਬੀਰ ਰਾਮ ਕਰ ਸਨੇਹੀ। ਤਜ ਭਰਮ ਕਰਮ ਬਿਦ ਨਿਖੇਦ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਲੇਹੀ। ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਨ ਕਬੀਰ ਰਾਮ ਕਰ ਸਨੇਹੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today's Pavan Pitra Hukamnama Sahib from Sachkhand Sri Harmandir Sahib on Ang 692, blessed to us by Bhagat Kabir Ji. Today Bhagat Kabir Ji is saying to us, Ram Simar Ram Simar Ram Simar Bhai. Bhagat Kabir Ji here has said Ram Simar to us 3 times. Ram meaning Vaheguru, that Ram that is ramya hoya, that Ram that is pervading everywhere, that is immersed in everything, in all the creation, in the Ram Simar. And Pacha Ji saying Simar, Simar means to remember, coming from the Sanskrit word of Simran, ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ, ਚੇਤਾ ਕਰਨਾ. And it's saying to remember God 3 times over. And why Bhagat Kabir Ji is saying this 3 times over? Because what this means is that in essence, the truth is we're only really remembering God if He is in all 3 places. What all 3 places? Ram Simar Man. So that's first one is our mind. For the remembrance of God to be within our mind. Just like Sache Pacha Ji saying Gurbani, Gur Prasadi Ram Man Vasai Ta Phal Pave Koe. They're saying with the grace of the Guru, Kende Gur Prasadi Ram, that Ram Man Vasai. That if that Ram goes into our mind, Kende Gur Prasadi Ram Man Vasai Ta Phal Pave Koe, then we can truly obtain the fruits of Vaheguru. Sangh Ji, if we look at this Pangti when Pacha Ji saying to us, Kende Ram Ram Sab Ko Kaha Kahe Aram Na Hoye. Pacha is saying just because we're saying it with our tongue, just because we're saying the word Ram with our tongue, just because somebody is saying the word Hari with their tongue, just because if somebody is saying the word Vaheguru with their tongue, it doesn't mean that Vaheguru Ji is gone within their mind. It doesn't mean that yet when they speak, when they use words to communicate with someone, to say something to someone, it doesn't mean that Ram has come into their speech yet. It doesn't mean just because somebody is saying the word Ram or somebody is saying the word Vaheguru, it doesn't mean that Vaheguru has come into somebody's actions yet. Because we all know, Sangat Ji, I'm sure most of us will know that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji said as well. They say that the highest way of living is what? They said Sagal Dharma mein Shrestha Dharma. And they can har ko naam jap. Their Pachi can har ko naam jap. They're saying that is reciting the name of God, meditating on the name of God. Can they har ko naam jap nirmal karam. Pachi ji saying that sarb dharma meh. Dharma means the way of life. What's the highest way of living? Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji is saying. Kande Shrestha Dharam, the highest Dharam, meaning that Dharam, religion you can call it, way of life being towards that path of God. Kande what is that highest path towards God? Kande Har ko naam jap. Paach Ji saying is meditating on the name of God. But kande how will you know that? Kande nirmal karam. Kande because you'll be able to see in your actions. Your actions will become nirmal, will become so pure and immaculate. Nirmal mail to rat would be without any dirt. You won't have any sinful actions left inside of you anymore. So that's why Bhagat Kabir Ji is saying here to us, kande Ram simar. First of all, kande first with your mind. Kende first with your mind, man bach karam prabh ek ਧਿਆਏ. Paach Ji say to us, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਨ ਬਚ ਕਰਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਏਕ ਧਿਆਏ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ we meditate on God not only, Sangat Ji, with just that tongue mechanically going round and round. And we often see that. We often see that many people may be saying something. Somebody might be just continuously saying Vaheguru, 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 Ram, Ram, Ram. But you can see in their actions, there's no Vaheguru in their actions. Their actions aren't immaculate yet. When they come to speak, in 1 minute you've seen them. Somebody may have come out of a Kirtan session. Maaf karna, I shouldn't call it a session. Somebody may have come out of listening to Kirtan. They've just come out of singing Kirtan. But they've even come out saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru. But then, Sangat Ji, when they come to speak to somebody, they put somebody down with their words. But because what's happened? Vaheguru hasn't come into their words yet. Why? Because Vaheguru Ji hadn't been absorbed into their mind yet. But Paach Ji saying that man bach karam prabh ek ਧਿਆਏ. Can the one that meditates on Vaheguru Ji, on that ek Sangat Ji, how man, with once that Vaheguru Ji is within our mind, we can't see anything else but Vaheguru Ji now. That's the meditation here that Bhagat Kabir Ji is talking of. Sangat Ji, that's just the starting point of having the name upon our tongue. But this is about God's name, that meditation of God going deeper and deeper inside of us. Ram simar, Ram simar. Sangat Ji, then how will we know that even their words become pure? Whenever somebody then speaks, they won't speak in a way of putting somebody down. They'll always think about, how can I help this person? How can I give them more love? How can I express my compassion to them? Sangat Ji, that's every word that they will speak is that way of helping them and uplifting them. Because now Ram simar, because Vaheguru Ji is now Guru Prasadi Ram man vasa. Because Vaheguru Ji is my man now, and now so Ram simar with my mind, the name of God sits in my mind, And now then whatever I speak now, you can hear Ram come out of that as well. That's why when we look at the Tiji law, when Dhan Sri Guru Ramdas Ji Paat Ji has said to us, Har Tijdi lav man chau paya bairagiya Balram Jiyo, Sant jana har mel har paya Vadbhagiya Balram Jiyo, nirmal har paya har gun gaya, mukh boli har bani. Paat Ji say to us, nirmal har paya. Sangat Ji, nirmal har paya. Over here they're referring to Vaheguru Ji as nirmal. Just like we saw what Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paat Ji said in the Bani, when they said, Har ko naam jap nirmal karam. They're saying, what does it actually mean to be meditating on the name of God? They said you'll be able to see the meditation of God in your karam, in your actions, in your way of living. Because they will become nirmal. Because now Vaheguru Ji has come into your actions. Because Vaheguru Ji is nirmal. Vaheguru Ji is the pure one. That's why here Paat Ji saying to us that nirmal har paya, har gun gaya, mukh boli har bani. Paat Ji saying mukh boli har bani. Often enough we don't look at the depth of these words of Guru Ramdas Ji Paatshah Ji. When we read these translations and we come across them in Paat Ji saying the Lord's Bani, that's how it's translated here. And now those that don't have the understanding of the language, the translation is saying Lord's Bani, what's that going to give us? So that's actually saying to us, nirmal har paya. Now, when I've got har, Vaheguru Ji within my mind, the one that is pure, nirmal har paya. If you look at nirmal there, the lalle no onkad sangat ji, meaning making it singular. So it's not that everything about me, different parts of me have become pure. That Vaheguru Ji, the pure one, has come into my mind now. Nirmal har paya, har gun gaya. And now I constantly sing the praises of that one. But this is the line, Sangat Ji, here, this part is mukh boli har bani. Mukhon, jo vi now I speak with this tongue, mukh boli har bani, comes out is what is God. When here is saying the words of God are coming out, the words of Vaheguru Ji are coming out, this doesn't mean that the actual word Vaheguru is coming out. It means that you've got Vaheguru within your words. You've got Vaheguru Ji hidden in the words. And Sangat Ji, and what that means is, so if I say to somebody, for example, if somebody is feeling low, and instead of saying to them, Aata tera kaam hi rehanda ya, you're always like this. You know what? You're always in a mood, you're always like this, it's your own fault. But instead of saying that, Sangat Ji, you've got Vaheguru in your speech. And in your speech is those words that give them haunsla. To say to them that, you know what? We're going to work through this. And saying such words like that, I'm not saying those are the perfect words, Sangat Ji, I'm just saying that where they are coming from. If they're coming from compassion, if behind those words are compassion and what they might look like is, so I'm not confining what the words might be, but I'm just saying what those words might sound like, might be a sentence like, you know, we are going to get through this. And giving somebody that haunsla, that inside confidence. So there's no perfect word to describe the word haunsla. Haunsla is probably more closer to comfort, but not false comfort. You know, coming from that faith, from that prosa, from that sharda, that Vaheguru Ji is so great that we are going to get through this, and saying that we're going to do whatever we can to get past this. And if it's not to that level and extent, but any encouraging words that come from compassion, they are mukh boli har bani. So Sangat Ji, ek ta oh hunde ne, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 1 ਘੰਟਾ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਵੱਲ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲ ਨੀਵੀਂ ਅੱਖ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੇਖਿਆ. But somebody might have spent an hour saying Vaheguru, but when it comes to talking to somebody else, they look down at them. But that's why Bhagat Kabir Ji said, this is, it doesn't matter how much somebody does, and you don't judge them for how much they are doing. And you don't ever come into that place of thinking, well, I'm doing a lot more than you spiritually. I jop a lot more Naam than you. I read a lot more Bani, and then you speak to them in a way as if they're doing little. And that's why Bhagat Kabir Ji said, Kende jo kino so lab. Bhagat Kabir Ji saying, Kende that whatever somebody is doing, Kende there's lab in that. There is profit in that. There's always a point in that. Kende no matter what kinna jo koi karda, kende ek kadi, adi hute aad. Bhagat Kabir Ji saying here, Kende Kabir ek kadi, adi hute aad. Kende it doesn't matter whether somebody is spending a complete kadi. Kadi Sangat Ji means 24 minutes. But it's not about the accuracy of the times here. It's not about that. It's just trying to give us an example here. Sometimes some people will get so caught up in the little technicalities of it, and they'll say, oh, it's Bhagat Kabir Ji saying that. So, if we did 24 minutes, that is like, doing a complete amount. No, it's nothing to do with that. It's just an example. Saying, so if somebody does a certain amount of time, they've just happened to say ek kadi, meaning about 24 minutes. Kende Kabir ek kadi, adi kadi. If somebody does half of that, adi kadi, adi, and then half of that, hu te aad, and then you half it again. Even if you've only got a few minutes left of somebody doing something, पर भगत कबीर जी सिंह कहते भगतन सेती गोष्ट जो कीनो so lab. Whatever somebody is doing, there'll be lab in that. It'll be worthwhile, because Vaheguru Ji isn't overlooking anybody's effort. And the truth is, Sangat Ji, Sache Paach Ji ta kehne nimak simrat jit chute. Somebody could escape within one moment, within the blink of an eye. Nimak. Sangat Ji said, we don't know how powerful it's going to be. So, coming back, Ram Simar. Vaheguru Ji coming into our speech as well, not looking down at someone. And that's what that slok actually is all about. He's saying, Yaad rakhiyo, always remember that whatever somebody is doing, never judge them on the time that they are taking, because we don't know how powerful it is what they are doing from inside. And Ram Simar Bhai. And then the third one is in our actions, and everything we do with these hands, everywhere we go with these feet, they will then become godly actions. Anything we touch with these hands, we are touching only out of love, only out of compassion, only out of par upkar, to help others. There's purity behind everything. Sangat Ji, that's what it means to meditate on God. Kabir Ji here is saying, so even though I had completely something else planned out, as you could probably tell from the title, but Sache Pacha Ji saying, Ram Naam Simran bin Boodte. Sangat Ji, they're saying, without that type of meditation, of having meditation in your man, in your words, in your actions, Ram Naam Simran. If you haven't got the name of God behind everything you are doing, bin boodte, without that, people are drowning. Adkai, Sangat Ji, means so many people. Adkai can also mean even those people that you see in this life to be somebody so great, that might have such a position in this world, but even they are drowning. And then Bhagat Kabir Ji say, rahao, contemplate this. Sangat Ji, so really focus on that. Really reflect on that. Yes, I might be reading Gurbani, the Guru's words. Yes, I might be saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, but has that become empty? Has that just become a mere repetition of the tongue? Or has the name of Vaheguru gone deeper inside of me? Has now Vaheguru Ji's name, has it taken over my mind? Has it taken over my words? Has it taken over my actions? So, Banata Sutta, Banata means your spouse, your partner. Kabir Ji saying, be your spouse, partner, Sutta, your child, your children, sons, daughters, they, your own body, your sareer. Kande greh meaning your house that you live in, your partners, your children, your body, your houses, kande sampat, all your possessions. Sukhadai. We keep thinking, we keep seeming to think that, these are dai, meaning the givers of sukh. We think that these are going to give us sukh, eternal bliss. Sangat Ji yesterday did an arth, a translation to these desires. Somebody might desire that, yes, I need a partner in my life now. Somebody might desire in their life, have this inner burning desire that I need a son in my life. When does it become from just a normal part of living and having essentials in our life to becoming that burning desire that Sache Paatshah Ji talk about? Pyareo, it becomes that burning desire at that point when my mind is constantly in thought of that now, and there's an expectation from it that is going to give me fulfillment, satisfaction, contentment. It's the giver of sukh. It's going to give me eternal happiness. But actually all that was going to give us is comfort. So when does it become from, people then say, we just don't desire anything, we don't have any drive in life. Some of the youth get so confused about that. So no, Sangat Ji, there's those that they come from that energy of desire where we go out to do our education, where somebody buys a house, whatever it is, but that house isn't something that's burning them from inside, and they're thinking, I want it, I need to get that because that's what's going to give me sukh. That's what is going to provide me with eternal happiness. That's what's going to give me inner contentment. That's then a desire. But when somebody's saying, okay, we need to build a house so that we've got a shelter, job done. It's not saying that, okay, it's going to give us a level of comfort. But the moment they say this is going to give me sukh, that's it. That's when Bhagat Kabir Ji saying, bin Ram Naam Simran bin Budte Adkai, now you're drowning. Now you're going to drown the moment you think that these things are going to provide that for you. So Banata Sut Deh Greh Sampat Sukhadai, nahi. That's what we are thinking they're going to give us sukhadai. In ma kach na hai tero. But Bhagat Kabir Ji saying, in ma, amongst all of these, kach na hai tero, none of these are yours. And I'm thinking, what does that mean that my wife's not mine? What does that mean that my husband's not mine? How can I say that my son is not mine? My body is not mine? What does that mean? This is my house. I'll show you my paperwork. I'll show you that this house is mine, this body is mine, this child is mine. I'll show you the birth certificate, it's got my name on it as I'm their parent. Sangat Bhagat Kabir Ji is saying here, only that you can say is truly yours. That can go with you even when you leave this world. You cannot take your body with you when you leave this world. Bhagat Kabir Ji is saying here, inme kach nahe tero kaal, kaal meaning death. When time is up for this body in this world, kaal avad, avad. Sangat ji means time. When that sama comes, kaal avad ai. When the time of death comes, how can you say that these are yours? You can't say to your wife, Aaya pa dunhe chal de ha. Sangat ji, you can't say to your wife that, look, don't worry, we'll both go. Even if she agrees in saying, alright then, I'll take my life and I'll join you. Sangat ji, it doesn't work like that. Because once this body is dropped, somebody else is going to be in control where we go. It's our karam that are going to be then leading us, our inner desires and karam and our actions that we have been doing throughout our life that is going to determine then, is going to be leading us to where we go. And then we could try it, but we'll fail. Sangat ji, no, I shouldn't say that, sorry, maaf karna, don't try it. Yeah. If Sangat ji, somebody even did something like that and they thought that, chal, we'll be together, but their actions from their life and their desires that they have got currently is going to take them to one direction, and then your actions and your desires are going to take you to another direction. So even then you won't be together. That's why Kabir Ji is saying nobody is yours. When you go, when that time comes, only that you can say is yes, is a part of me that can go with you. Kabir Ji then go on to say, Ajamal Gaj, look at sinners like Ajamal who lived his whole life, most of his life sinning, ran away with a prostitute, went and had numerous children with her, left his wife, left his job of translating the Vedas in a king's palace. But Kabir Ji is saying, even somebody like that who lived a life like that, can they even Gaj, Sangat ji, Gaj the elephant, the Gajendra, who in his last life was cursed and then had, as a deity, he was cursed and then he was born as an elephant, this Gaj that part she's talking about, and then a crocodile that had an account with him from his last life came to settle his account, grabbed hold of that elephant's foot. But even for that elephant, during that struggling time of being in the jaw of a crocodile, Sangat ji, a jamal, living a life of sin, living with a prostitute, being all now having so many bodily diseases. But can they even Ganika, that woman that had sold her body in prostitution for most of her life, पर Bhagat Kabir Ji कहने लगे, कहते पतित कर्म कीने, they had did so many actions, karam, but that were patit, meaning lowly actions, had committed sins. कहते but कहते तेऊ उत्तर पार परे राम नाम लीने. But Bhagat Kabir Ji saying, कहते but still, तेऊ means but still, तेऊ उत्तर कहते पार परे, they still got across the other side. How? कहते राम नाम लीने, because they, in that one moment, a jamal in his last breath, Ganika, by teaching a parrot how to say the word Ram, and Sangat ji and Gaj, that elephant that cried out from inside. But Sangat ji, when they called out to Vaheguru Ji's name, it wasn't just with their tongue, it was with their mind, it was with every word they spoke, and it was with their actions, meaning everything was in line. And that's in that way Vaheguru Ji's name had gotten deep inside of them. It's the meditation of Naam. Naam, saying Vaheguru with our tongue, but when Vaheguru Ji then takes over and possesses our mind and comes into our speech, into our action, in that way, Sangat Ji, Kende Ram, Naam, Line, taking the name of God, meditating on God's name in that way, what happened? Kende they were saved as well. Sukar, Kukar, Sukar meaning a pig, Kukar meaning a dog. Kende Sukar, Kukar, Jon Prame. Bhagat Kabir Ji saying, Kende look how many different lives you've gone through. You've been a pig in the past. You've been a dog in your past lives. Jon Prame. Wandering around lost in all these different types of dunya. Kende tau laaj na ai. Kende fevani tenu halle sharm ai. Kende have you still not learned? You've still not learned. Even now you've got no shame. You come into this world and you don't meditate on the name of God. Do you not realize Kabir Ji is telling us? We might be thinking, well, I can't remember. Kabir Ji is telling us we've been through that. And now they're saying that look at the life of a pig or a dog. Bhagat Kabir Ji is telling us from Gyan, from the actual knowing. They're saying that we have gone through those lives, but those were to awaken us. And what we've learned from them, we are carrying that with us. And they're saying that still no shame, you still carry on living like a dog in this life, living filled with greed. And remember, then that's what you will become again. So Kabir Ji saying, then they say to us, Ram Naam Chad Amrit, kende letting go of this, the name, meditating on God's name, which is Amrit, which will take us to immortality. Kende kahe bek khai. Kende why are you consuming poison? Why are you doing such things in this life? Why are you speaking such words that haven't got Vaheguru Ji in there? Meaning that are filled with bitterness, that are bringing somebody else down because you want to remain on top. So Sangat Ji kende kahe bek khai, eating this, consuming this poison in the way, Sangat Ji, people, there's people out there, which is the truth, that might sit, and even you've heard of many religious people doing this. People that are granthis that have done this, that may have sat and read Gurbani the whole day and even said Vaheguru, Vaheguru with their tongue the whole day, but in action what have they gone home and done? They've got domestic violence, gone and hit their partner, with these hands, because Vaheguru Ji hadn't come, they hadn't come into their hands yet. That meditation hadn't gone deep in. The meditation of Naam, Sangat Ji, is when it goes deeper inside of us, because then those hands will only serve. Those hands will only do par upkar. Those hands will only give somebody else comfort. Those hands will only go out and then serve that partner. If that partner is in distress or is tired, they will go and get food for them and place it before them. Never will that hand go up and be used for actually striking out at them, because Vaheguru Ji hasn't gone in. That's not meditating on Vaheguru, Sangat Ji. Somebody could be just saying it empty with their tongue, but it's not become their meditation yet. The Naam hasn't gone in yet, because the hands would have told us if Vaheguru Ji's Naam's gone in. And Sangat Ji, some people will say, oh, this vichar can be dangerous sometimes. Won't that just put people off? Doing Vaheguru will put people off. These people, won't it say that, oh, then what's the point? Absolutely not, Sangat Ji. Actually, it'll do the opposite. It'll do the opposite in which way? Is to say that, you know what? Oh, Sache Ji, oh Vaheguru, that I want that Naam not just to remain on my tongue and it just to become a ritual. I want it to go deep inside of me. I want it to possess my mind. I want to be meditating on Vaheguru Ji from inside. And I want to see Vaheguru Ji come out of my mouth. I want to see Vaheguru Ji come through my hands, through these feet, in every way. I want Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru to be every part of me. Sangat Ji, because we can't deny what Gurbani is saying. When Gurbani is saying to us, Kende Ram Ram sabko kahe Ram na hoye. Yes, there's many that have just made it into a ritual and hasn't become yet that the essence, have Naam they have missed. Some people, Sangat Ji, Bhagat Kabir Ji will say here straight out, they'll say to us, look what they say to us in the next Bhankti, they say Taj Param. Param, Sangat Ji, here, not Param in the sense of doubt. This doesn't mean here your doubt. This means when Punjabi vich कहने हैं ना कि हमें भरमा vich पै गया है. Bharma vich pੈ gaya means when you get into all these empty practices. Kende forget those. Not taj means to let go of them. It doesn't necessarily mean let go of the action, but they're saying let go of it being empty. It's not saying let go of the ritual. It's saying let go of the ritual being empty for you. That's what it means. Because sometimes we say, well, Tirath Yatra, some Guru Sahib Ji talk about pilgrimage. But then does it mean then we should let go of going to Harmandir Sahib's Sarovar? Absolutely not. It's saying that you continue your ritual, but make your ritual that you are doing not empty, but make it be full. Make sure it's got Naam inside of there. Everything that you are doing, every ritual has to have the meditation of God inside of it. Sometimes we get so stuck. We see so many people that Bhagat Kabir Ji kende taj param karam actions that have become param now. Empty rituals. Bid Sangat Ji means this bidi and nikhed are two things. In English, we have the saying of the do's and don'ts, meaning we get so stuck in bid and nikhed. Bidi, the Shabdarth Pothi of SGPC has translated that to when somebody is just for example, is just going on pilgrimage and it just becomes empty. And then they're going nikhed, Sangat Ji, and doing many different types of practices. Bidi was actually there translated to fasting. But Pyareo, here, let's bring it on to some of the things we are doing, because that's what's real for us. Have we just now, sometimes we get so caught up in little things and freak out. Yes, Sangat Ji, of course, we should take care and be more aware in the things that we are doing and we are eating. For example, somebody may have eaten something. There was maybe a particular ingredient in a food that we've eaten. And it was for us, it was a part of our irada, a part of our discipline not to eat that particular ingredient, that particular food that was in that. So yes, it's a practice that we've got to do. It's a way of living that could be called a ritual, however you want to call it. But Sangat Ji, if we made our whole spirituality of getting to God that, and saying, how main mar gaya, how main lut gaya, main to kha ho gaya, hun pata nahi, mainu ta nahi bakshana Rab ne, bas. And Sangat Ji, if we make it all about that, just looking at, oh my God, was that in there? Did I end up eating that? Yes, we're going to be aware of what we're going to eat, because food is a very important part of our path in spirituality. But if that's all we get stuck in, if we think it's all about that, and inside of that, but behind that, that name of God didn't go deep inside of us, where we're still not taken care of how we actually speak to someone. There's no compassion in us, but we get stuck in these little, sorry, not to use the word little, but we sometimes then make something into an empty practice. But not to say that the practice shouldn't be there, but it's to continue the practice, but not forgetting the essence of Vaheguru Ji being deep inside of it. In somebody, Sangat Ji, just saying, practicing and saying Vaheguru, but like Gurbani said, there's plenty of people just saying it, but has it gone inside of you? So Sangat Ji, and yes, there is that argument to say that we've all got to start somewhere, that we might start off empty. But I'm translating Gurbani here. And Gurbani is saying to us is that day is going to come one day when when we've practiced something and we've practiced it and it remained empty for us, and we didn't get to the essence of Naam, of Vaheguru Ji becoming every part of us. They said then we're going to end up leaving this world and we're not going to have anything to take with us, because the empty ritual isn't going to aid us. And that's why remembering every ritual that we do and we are given to practice are our railings to walk. But if we just hold on to them and don't walk, but taking Naam inside, where it takes over our mind, where our thoughts become pure, our intentions become pure, when they come from that pure place, when Vaheguru is the word Vaheguru has gone in deep inside and it's coming through our speech, that will go with us, that will aid us. That is the essence, Sangat Ji. So Taj param karma bedan khed ram naam lehi. They're saying let go of that. Whatever you're doing, make sure there is the meditation of God's name inside of it. Gur Prasad Jan Kabir. Bhagat Kabir Ji saying here, with the Guru's grace, whoever serves and becomes a Jan, that servant, with the grace of their Guru, Sangat Ji, they say Ram Kar Snehi, that Ram Kar Snehi, that they then fall in love with Vaheguru Ji. Sangat Ji, in everything we do, there's got to be that, there's that prem, there's that love, there's that connection to Vaheguru Ji. And so, Sangat Ji, the takeaway message from this Shabad is to be more conscious. Has something we are doing just become a ritual and there's no love in what we are doing? Are we just saying the word Vaheguru and it's just become another ritual and Vaheguru Ji isn't sinking and going deep inside of us? Am I being aware? Am I just, psychologically giving my mind this false kind of hope to say, yeah, but I've done my bit. I've done my Simran for 1 hour, and then actually not living the rest of my day in awareness. So, Sangat Ji, let's do ardas that man, bach, kram, prab, ek dhyaye, that I am able to meditate on you, Vaheguru Ji, with my mind, with my words, and with my actions, because that was the hukamnaama today. Ram Simar, Ram Simar, Ram Simar Bhai. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.